Rayman!
20 years ago, a hero with no arms, no legs, and honestly no business being that charming, saved a company. Ubisoft wasn't Ubisoft yet. It was just a scrappy French studio with too much ambition and not enough money. And then, this floating limit weirdo showed up and changed everything. This is Rayman. Then and now. 1995. The PlayStation is a brand new. 3D is the future everyone can see. And Ubisoft looks at all of it and say, nah, and built a 2D platformer so gorgeous it didn't need a single polygon to prove a point. Rayman wasn't just another mascot platformer trying to catch the Mario or Sonic wave. It was hand-drawn. It was weird. It had a villain literally named Mr. Dark. And it was, let's be honest, brutally, unapologetically hard. No hand-holding, no checkpoint when you needed them, just you, a floating fish, and a game that genuinely wanted to humble you. And somehow, that game became one of the best-selling titles on the original PlayStation. It's the reason Ubisoft became the giant it is today. One game, one little hero, that's the den. Fast forward to 2026, Rayman turns 30, and Ubisoft teaming up with Digital Eclipse, the studio basically famous for creating old games like Museum Piece, decide to give him the send off he deserved. 30th Anniversary Edition isn't just a remaster, it's basically a time capsule. 5 different versions of original game, MS-DOS, PlayStation, Atari Jaguar, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, all sitting in one package, like some kind of Rayman multiverse. And then there's the one nobody asked for but everyone obsessed with, a long-lost, never finished SNES prototype from 1992, a version of Rayman that almost exists, running for the first time ever on hardware that never got the chance to release it. They also threw in some very modern mercy, a 60-second rewind feature, extra save load, infinity life if you want them, even invisibility. The difficulty is still there if you want the authentic 1995 suffering experience, but now you don't have to suffer. On top of all that, over 50 minutes of brand new interview with the original developers, the actual story of how Limbless French mascot ended up carrying an entire company on his shoulder, which, again, he doesn't have a shoulder. Now here where I have to be real with you, because I'm not just here to read you a press release. The reception's been mixed. Some critics love how well the platforming hold up after 3 decades. Others pointed out the new soundtrack, since the original composer passed away and the old music got tangled in the right issues. Doesn't always land, with reports of the audio just cutting out entirely in place. More than half the review leaned negative of launch, so this isn't a flawless victory lap. It's love letter with a few smudges on it. But here's the thing, even with the rough edges, what you're left with is still the most complete way to experience the game that put Ubisoft on the map. Bugs and all, it's history you can actually touch. And honestly, 30 years is a long time to just talk about one game. So let's speedrun the whole Family Tree real quick. First, Rayman, the one started it all and basically funded Ubisoft's entire existence. Next, Rayman 2, The Great Escape. Jump to 3D fighting robot pirates. Next, Rayman 3, Podium Havoc, more combat and more attitude. Next, Rayman 4, it is plain, then quietly cancelled, and reborn as Rayman Raving Rabbids, which then went full send and became its own Rabbit franchise, leaving Rayman behind for a while. Next, Rayman Origin, the glorious 2D comeback, hand-drawn and gorgeous. Next, Rayman Legend, often called the best one, musical stage, 4-player chaos, Peak Rayman, and a few mobile spin-offs after that, Jungle Run, Adventure Mini, keeping the lights on. Then, a long quiet stretch. Next, Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition, the one we just talked about. Before any of this tournament existed, the very first Rayman was actually being built for the SNES back in 1992, a two-player game, chubby red Rayman sat inside the computer, fighting a literal computer virus. It got cancelled when PlayStation showed up, and for decades it was basically ghost, just a few leaked screenshots and one dumb level. This edition is the very first time that Lost World is officially playably part of the family tree. And now, Rayman Legend Retold, dropping October 1st, 2026, a full remake of the fan favorite Legend in 3D, fully voices for the first time ever. So yeah, this isn't just nostalgia trip, it might generally be the start of something new. 30 years, some floating fish, same with charm, a little roger around the edges in 2026 than the marketing wants to admit, but still somehow magical.